is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video, and I have an interesting talking point today. As you read by the title, the NFL is turning into an entertaining dumpster fire. You could easily argue that the NFL has already been a dumpster fire for a long period of time now, but I feel like as of late, especially, the fire inside said dumpster is just growing larger and larger. Before I dig into my thought process, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce. If you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be, Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfying you need to satisfy with the Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. So what do I mean by the NFL being an entertaining dumpster fire? Well, I think you and I can both agree that the NFL is certainly entertaining. Every single Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, millions upon billions of people are getting together to watch the sport that we all love. It seems like as time progresses, the NFL is getting more entertaining year after year. I mean, I think the 2021 season was one of the best NFL seasons that I have ever witnessed personally from an entertainment standpoint. I know there are a lot of people out there that have been watching football for a lot longer than me that could speak to maybe a different sentiment, but I think 2021 was easily one of the better seasons that we've seen in recent history. We got to witness the Bengals' improbable championship run. We got to witness Chargers-Raiders Week 18, Bills-Chiefs divisional round, Justin Tucker's game winner, the Lions breaking their winless streak, which was extremely ecstatic in itself as well. Oh, and that Chiefs-Chargers overtime game when Travis Kelce had that catch and run for 30 or 35 yards. That game was crazy too. And I'm not even including the offseason that we've been experiencing over the last couple months. This offseason, and I can say this with solidified confidence, has been one of the best in NFL history. It's been so awesome, and football's not even on. But this is where the dumpster fire part starts to come in, right? As entertaining as the product is that the NFL produces on a year-to-year basis, it's getting harder and harder to continuously turn a blind eye to all the bullshit, to all the scandals that happens with the NFL. I mean, it's a humongous company, and there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes. Like I said earlier in the video, you can easily argue that the NFL has been a dumpster fire for a long period of time now, and I don't disagree with that. I just feel like that fire is getting bigger, like I said. I mean, we had Spygate when the Patriots were spying on other teams' practices. We had Deflategate when Tom Brady deflated the footballs. And then we had, Bountygate when Greg Williams, the former defensive coordinator for the Saints, was telling his players to go pretty much kill Frank Gore. The point is, there's already been a lot, but over the last year or so, I feel like it's starting to become more and more, all of the scandals, all of the shit that goes on behind the scenes, and it really makes you pay attention a lot more than I feel like somebody like myself was paying attention before. There was the John Gruden emails at the beginning of the season. He was forced to resign. I mean, we were in the middle of watching a Monday Night Football game, and John Gruden is resigning because emails are getting leaked. It's like I'm trying to watch the Ravens-Colts, and all this John Gruden shit's going on. We had Deshaun Watson traveling with his football team, who was being accused of sexually assaulting 22 women. And although this one wasn't really a scandal, we also had Urban Meyer. I don't know how he actually got a job in the NFL. I don't know how he was able to get away with the shit he was getting away with. I mean, that dude was doing some borderline sketchy-ass shit as a head coach, and who knows what didn't come out about him. And then we had the Brian Flores lawsuit, which is still ongoing, by the way, against the NFL and a number of NFL teams for manipulating the Rooney Rule, and he was also saying the Miami Dolphins owner, Stephen Ross, was trying to pay him to lose football games. $100,000 per loss he was offering Brian Flores. I mean, how is that allowed in this league? And there's been no punishment. And then there was the Calvin Ridley gambling suspension that happened not too long ago, and although I completely blame the NFL for being in the wrong here. So this is the Caveman as I edit, and I just realized that I phrased what I wanted to say completely incorrectly. Yes, I do realize that Calvin Ridley was in the wrong here and he deserved to be punished. What I meant is that I think the NFL gave out way too harsh of a punishment. Therefore, I am siding with Calvin Ridley more than the NFL. I understand Ridley did something wrong. I just wanted to clarify because I know people would be freaking out. If you understand the entire situation, I'm actually on Calvin Ridley's side, but who knows how many players actually have underground, online sportsbooks accounts betting on games. Who knows how much that happens. The latest stuff that's been going on, Dan Snyder continuously proves that he is the biggest asshole to ever be birthed on this earth. This guy's just a complete scumbag. I mean, you can go read any article about this guy. You can read all the shit he's been involved in, all the scandals. This guy is a straight scumbag. But then the latest shit that went on is that Tom Brady retired, right? But he didn't retire with the intention to retire. He retired to try and force his way to the Miami Dolphins. And then the plan supposedly was to somehow hire a white head coach and white team president without having to go through the Rooney Rule. Sean Payton is involved in that. And apparently Stephen Ross and Tom Brady were going back and forth about it. And then the Brian Flores lawsuit blew it all up and they called off the arrangement. I mean, holy shit. Like, what in God's name is happening? Can these guys get away with whatever they want? Bill Belichick didn't send a text message to the wrong Brian, then I think all of this would have went down. Do you know how crazy? Do you know how nuts that would have been? I mean, we wouldn't even have any idea. I just listed 7 individual incidents that could all easily be described as indictments against the NFL and what they have in place, what they have going for them, what goes on behind the scenes, and this all has happened over the last year or so. And the crazy part is they managed to handle pretty much all of them completely incorrectly. That's the funniest part about it. But out of all those incidents, the one guy that got the instant punishment, the instant hammer, was Calvin Ridley. He somehow thought he could gamble while away from his NFL team, and the NFL even acknowledged that he gambled without any insider information. He pretty much was betting as a fan, just like any other fan would. I get Calvin Ridley was in the wrong, but they were so quick to give him a 1-year suspension, and I get it from the NFL's point of view. Trust me, I do. And on the other hand, you have an owner in the NFL and Stephen Ross trying to give his head coach $100,000 to tank. You also have Dan Snyder, one of the biggest scumbags to ever walk on planet Earth, running one of your franchises, withholding money from the rest of the league. Then you got Deshaun Watson, who I understand was not convicted in the court of law, who was accused by 22 different women for sexual assault, getting a max guaranteed contract, getting traded to another franchise, watching one of your teams in your league go through PR hell, paying him this humongous amount of money, and he has yet to be suspended. I don't know if he will. I'm thinking he will, but either way, whatever the NFL does about this Deshaun Watson situation, they'll probably be wrong. Somehow he's just not even suspended yet. I don't know, man. It really makes you think. I'm not one of those people that sit back and think, oh, the NFL is rigged. They do this behind the scenes. Vegas knows everything. It's rigged, blah, blah, blah. I'm not one of those people, and I never have been. But as all of this bullshit goes on behind the scenes, and I guess I'm a little naive to think that it didn't happen, but as it starts to come out, it's hard for me to ignore it and think that shit does not happen that we cannot see. Who knows how many owners are trying to pay their head coaches to lose? Who knows how much purposeful tanking is happening? I mean, there's just so much stuff that we probably don't know that goes on behind the scenes, and like I said, I'm probably naive to think that things were not happening beforehand. But seeing all of this come out so fast, I mean, your star-studded quarterback Tom Brady, one of the greatest, or the greatest to probably play the game in your image and like this, is working with an owner that was supposedly trying to pay his head coach $100,000 per loss. I mean, it just all comes together to look really damn bad, but it's glossed and glazed over by the entertainment and the product that they produce on a week-to-week basis during the season. It's just like, wow, it's a lot. It's one hell of a handful. I guess the point of what I'm trying to say is that the NFL, as entertaining as it is, it seems like their ugly head is starting to rear more and more as time progresses, just as the entertainment factor happens to be increasing at the same time. I don't know, it just seems a little bit coincidental, not to mention the same season that sportsbooks team up with the NFL, even though beforehand they were completely separate entities, they wanted nothing to do with each other. Now all of a sudden they're in partnership. There's a lot of shit going on here, people, and I'm just trying to, open my own eyes and spread awareness for people to open their eyes too. Just like anything or anyone that has a lot of money, there will never be an NFL over the NFL, meaning there will not be somebody reprimanding the NFL for not doing the right thing in the right situation, even though the NFL will reprimand what they feel is right and wrong. They have all the money, they have all the power. I mean, what am I going to do on my YouTube channel to change anything? What are any of us going to do in the public to change anything? Unfortunately, we all love the NFL too much to really change what we watch, how we watch it, how we view it, whatever. I'm just saying I'm keeping my eyes as peeled as possible. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I know that everybody's aware of everything that I've talked about in this video. Everybody's probably had the same exact thoughts, but I just thought I'd put all of the scandals together into one big bubble to present them to you so you can realize like how much shit has actually gone on over the last year or so. But yeah, let me know any thoughts you have down in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. You want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there, I'd appreciate that as well. I have a TikTok down in my description that I think you should check out, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.